Hello my dear children, welcome to my channel Sudhir Sir Chemistry. But today I am going to start for organic chemistry, that is first year part organic chemistry GOC. Today in that GOC part we are having the part wise will be there. The first part which will be called as a nomenclature of organic compound, means how the organic compound can be named. After going with the nomenclature part, then we are going to learn about electronic effects. What is electronic effect? Inductive effect, mesomeric effect, again hyperconjugation, electronic effect, mesomeric effect, we can say again one more resonance effect, and then afterward we'll go for the part will be called as a isomerism. So these all are the regular parts are there. First one we'll discuss about how to give the naming of the compound or the nomenclature of the organic compound, right? So today's topic is that in organic chemistry we are going to discuss general organic chemistry, and in this general organic chemistry the first part which one I want to discuss here, that is how to name the organic compound, naming of the organic compound, right? And this naming of the organic compound can be done with two methods. Let me tell you what is that one. Naming of organic compound will be called as a nomenclature. And this nomenclature of any organic compound can be done by two methods. The first of the method will be called as a common method. First one will be called as a common method, and second one will be called as a IUPAC method. I hope everybody know what is IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. And this common method means this is a method from where the name of the compound can be given from their source. What is the source of the organic compound? What is the origin of the organic compound? Or we can say what is the nature of the organic compound. So we can say based on the source, or we can say based on the nature, right? Based on the source, based on the nature, or we can say the base of the, actually source and origin both are same. So what is the origin or the source, or what is the nature, based on that we are able to give the common name of the compound. But IUPAC means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. For giving the name of this one, we have to follow some rules given by them, and based on the rules only we are able to give the name of any organic compound, right? The first part we will see what is the common name system are there. See here, common name. I want to give an example for you. For the common name of the compound, let us say I will write here one of the name of the compound called as a CH4, and I will ask you what is the common name of the CH4. Everybody knows what is the common name of the CH4 It is called as a marsh gas. Common name of this one is called as a what? This will be called as a marsh gas. And as we know this gas can be, we are getting from the marshy areas, as the gas which will come out from the marshy area, the name of the gas called as a marsh gas. But it is also called as a fire dam. This gas is also called as a what? Fire dam. So CH4 commonly called as a marsh gas, and it is also called as a fire dam. But if you want to write the IUPAC name of the CH4, IUPAC name of the CH4 will be called as a methane. But how this methane came here, how the IUPAC name of the CH4 we wrote methane, that one we will see later on, not now, right? That one we will see later on. But at present I want to tell you based on the source, based on the nature, the name of the compound can be given. For example, CH4. What is the source of the CH4? The CH4 is a gas and it is obtained from the marshy places. That marshy places, the gas is coming out called as a marsh gas, and it is also called as a fire dam. But IUPAC name is a methane. How the IUPAC name methane we wrote, that one I will tell you based on the rules, right? One more is there, the best example everybody knows about that. Common name means we'll go with the acids and all. I will tell you some common name for the acids called as a carboxylic acid. See here. Some common name of carboxylic acid we'll see here. Carboxylic acids. But this IUPAC naming and all we'll see later on, because we have to go with the rule. Now common name I will tell you. But it is also called as a common name. It is also called as a tribal name, right? Common name, tribal name and all. Carboxylic acid. Chalo, I will go with one example. What is the name of this acid? Commonly called as a, sir, common called name of this acid is called as a formic acid, because you know this acid is derived from red ions. So this HCOH is called as a formic acid, is a common name because this acid it was derived from red ions. And do you know beta, in Greek language this red ion will be called as a what, you know, formica. In Greek language this red ion will be called as a formica, and the name of that acid will be called as a formic acid. One more example I will tell you beta. After that one, CH3COOH, beta, commonly called as a, this CH3COH commonly called as a what, you know, acetic acid. Because beta, acetic acid, why it is called, you know, because it is derived from what we can say, vinegar. You know, vinegar, it will be derived from vinegar. And in Latin name we can say, or we can say in Greek language, the vinegar will be called as what, you know, acetum. Vinegar will be called as acetum. As this is an acid derived from the vinegar, and vinegar commonly called as acetum. So name of this acid also called as what beta? Acetic acid. So two acids we have seen. One is the HCOH. Other one is what? We can say the formic acid, that is HCOH, and another one is CH3COH. Why it is commonly called as a formic acid? Because this acid is derived from the red ion. And in Greek language, you know beta, this red color of the ion, this red ion, which is red ion, in Greek language called as a formica. Same way beta, CH3COH called as a acetic acid, and it is derived from the vinegar, and this vinegar is also called as acetum, the acid called as a acetic acid. But one more example for this one, what we can say, CH3COOH, HCOH, and one more we'll see, CH3. Just I want to add one homologous series of it beta. Homologous series means here just I should add the CH2. This is one there. Beta, one more homologous series I want to add. CH3, then CH2, then CH2, then COOH. Beta, what is meant by homologous series? You know, the series which is differed by CH2 group are called as a homologous series. See here, CH3COH. I am going to put one CH2 in between this one. So homologous. These and these acids separated by a molecular mass of a CH2. These and these separated by CH2. Homologous. How many carbons are here? 3. How many carbons are here? Beta, 4. Again one more homologous I want to write. CH3, CH2, then CH2, then COOH. Right? One more homologous series you can write beta. CH3, then CH2, then one more CH2, and one more CH2, and then COOH. Right? How many homologous series we wrote here beta? Once you check it here. Yes, total homologous series we wrote here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. But here how many carbons are there? You know, 3 carbon. The common name of this acid called as a propionic. See beta, propionic. I am not writing propane and all. Propionic acid, commonly called as a propionic acid. Because you know, propione is called as a first fatty acid. So propione, P-R-P-I-O-N. Propione, it is called as a first fatty acid. Same, how many carbons are here? Count here, 4 carbons are there. But a 4 carbon is called as a, you know, butyric acid. B-U-T-Y-R-I-C, butyric acid. But why it will be called as a butyric acid, you know? Because the source of this acid is a butter. Source of this acid is a what, you know, butter. This source of the acid is a butter called as butyric acid. Source of this acid is a propione, and propane is what, you know, it is a first fatty acid. How many carbon? 1, 2, 3. Array. One more CH2 I should put here, beta. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5. Here, beta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more 6 will come. Here it will come as a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, count carbon 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. But a 5 carbon is there, commonly called as a valeric acid. valeric acid. But a valeric acid means source of this acid is a root of a valerian plants. But a root of the valerian plant we can say. So the source of this acid is a what? It is a root of valerian plant. As this acid can be derived from the root of the valerian plant, so it will be called as a what? Valeric acid. Here number of carbon atom is 6 beta. It is called as a caproic acid. CaProic, caproic acid, because CaPr, capior beta, CaPer we can say, CaPer, and this capior is called as a goat, and this acid can be derived from the goat called as a caproic acid. So these are the beta some what you can say common name of the acid which one I wrote here. Common name, formic acid. Source of this acid is a red iron. In Greek language, this red iron will be called as a formica. But this CH3COH called as acetic acid. Acetic acid derived from the vinegar, and vinegar is called as acetum or acetic acid. This is a 3-carbon propionic, because propion is a first fatty acid. But here 4-carbon is a butyric. Source of that acid is a butter. Total number of carbon atom here beta 5 called as a valeric. Source of this acid is a root of valerian plant called as a valeric, and here 6 carbons are there called as a caproic acid, and source of this acid is a goat. But from goat we are getting this acid called as a caproic acid, right? So these are the few acids which are I wrote here, and this all are the acid is a monocarboxylic acid beta, means only one COOH group is there. Now I want to go with a common name called as a 2-COOH group called as a dicarboxylic acid. And interesting part I will tell you beta here. The common name of the compound containing 2-COOH group called as a dicarboxylic acid. That part I want to explain you. Once again see here beta. So I am going to write the common name of dicarboxylic acid. We are going to learn now common name of dicarboxylic acid. And this part beta they already asked in IIT mains and even in the NEET also. They will give common name and they will ask to write the structure, or they will give the common name and they will ask to get the IUPAC name of the compound. See beta, for writing this dicarboxylic acid, what I will write here? COOH, and then again beta COOH. This is the first one. Second one, in between these two COH, put the CH2 here. Beta CH2COOH, on other side also COOH. Beta third one more CH2 you put here. Sir, CH2 and then CH2. Again we are having COOH and again we are having COH. But now one more CH2 you put here, because I am going to write the homologous series of this dicarboxylic acid. This is a homologous series of a dicarboxylic acid. Right sir? Again beta one more CH2 keep here. The fifth one I am going to write here. See? The fifth one I am going to write here. This is a 1, this is a 2, 3 is there now. So 1, 2, then 3, then 4. Again beta COH and COOH. Right. Total number of carbon how many beta? 1, 2, 3, 4 and remaining 2 carbon. That is called as a 6 carbons are there. But one more is there. Place is not there. Shall I write on the other side? And this seventh one. Total how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 CH2 is there. Put one more CH2. Then CH2, 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 COOH and COOH. See beta, in this case what happened? COH, COH. One more CH2 I came. One more CH2. Beta 1, then 2 CH2, then 3 CH2, then 4 CH2 and 5. If you want to write the name of this acid beta, I will tell you how to write. This acid commonly called as a, means the common name of this acid is called as a oxalic acid. Right beta? Then it is called as a malonic acid. It is called as a what? Malonic acid. Then it is called as a succinic acid. Then it is called as a glutamic acid. This is called as a beta adipic acid. This is called as a what you know? Adipic acid. And last one, this acid is there, beta. It is called as commonly called as a phenylic acid. Now most of the children they didn't remember the name of this acid and all, but I will tell you simple word: O, M, S, G, A, and P. So this is a trick you remember. What is the trick, beta? Oh my, such a great apple present. I repeat, beta, this is a trick is useful for everyone. Oh my, such great apple present. Beta, O stand for oxalic, M stand for malonic, S stand for succinic, G stand for beta glutanic, A stands for adipic, and your P stands for what, beta? Phenylic acid. Check it here once. Again, if I will ask you to write the structures of these all dicarboxylic acid, are you able to write, beta? How? See here. First COH. Put one CH2 in between that. Put one more CH2 between that. Put one more CH2 between that. Put one more CH2 and put one more CH2. Right? If you are able to write this one, then we can write the name also. And to remember the name, this is a statement to remember. What is that? Oh my, such great apple present. O stand for oxalic, M stand for malonic, S stand for succinic, G stand for glutanic, A stand for adipic, and P stand for phenylic. Check it, beta. These are the common names of these acids called as a dicarboxylic acid. Is it clear, beta? Chalo, take a screenshot of this one. Beta, now after writing the common name of a carboxylic acid, after writing the common name for dicarboxylic acid, now we are coming for the IUPAC nomenclature of the organic compound. But for writing the IUPAC of any organic compound, you have to follow this rule. The first one you should mention here as a prefix. Then beta you should mention here as a root word. Prefix, then root word, and at last you should mention here as a suffix. I repeat, beta. First you have to write the prefix, then you have to go with a root word, and then you have to enter with a suffix. But a prefix also it is of two types are there. One will be called as a primary prefix. What is that? I will let you know. And another one will be called as a secondary prefix. But a suffix also it is of again two types is there. One is called as a secondary primary suffix and other will be called as a secondary suffix. Maybe you don't know all these things, but I am going to teach you in this way. You are able to understand better what is a primary suffix, what is the secondary suffixes, what is the root word, and what are the prefixes are there. I will let you know. But before that, just go with this one. What is meant by root word? But a root word indicates that compound containing number of carbon atom. Containing number of carbon atoms. But a compound containing how many number of carbon atoms is its root word? Let me tell you. Compound containing 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5. But if the compound containing 1 carbon, you should use METH. Compound containing 2 carbon, you should mention here as ETH. Then beta PROP. Then BUT. 5 carbon PENT. 6 carbon, 7 carbon, right? Compound containing 8 carbon, then 9 carbon, 10 carbon. So 6 is called as a hex. 7 is called as a HEPT, beta 8 is called as a OCT, 9 is called as a NON, compound containing 10 carbon called as a DEC. If you want to know somewhat more, 11, 12, beta 11 called as a undec, 12 called as a dodec, then tridec, tetradec and all. But it is enough. If you learn up to 5, it is enough. Compound containing number of carbon atom, 1 carbon meth, 2 carbon eth, 3 carbon prop, 4 carbon but, 5 carbon pent, then 6 carbon hex, 7 carbon hept, 8 carbon oct, 9 carbon non, 10 carbon dec, 11 beta undec, 12 and dodec. These are the number of carbon atom present on it. But what is a primary suffix and what is a secondary suffix? Wait, I will tell you. Primary suffix indicate that, see here, primary suffix indicate the nature of organic compound. Means what is the nature of the organic compound is there. Beta, if the compound containing single bond, the nature of the compound is a alkane, and you should use the word here as a ane. Nature means single bond, beta. It is a primary prefix. I should mention here as a suffix mentioned as a ane. If the compound containing double bond, right, beta, double bond, then the primary suffix I should use here as a ene. And if the compound containing triple bond, then the primary suffix I should use here as a yne. Ene, yne. It is about suffix, beta, primary suffix and all. So what is the secondary suffix? Yeah, beta, secondary suffix. Compound containing means the secondary suffix indicate what? That one I will tell you. So secondary suffix indicate the presence of, it indicate the presence of, how beta? Presence of functional group. Listen here. What kind of the functional group present here based on that secondary suffix we can use here? One simple example. Beta, if compound containing carboxylic acid, my secondary suffix should be OIC acid. I will show you some examples. Beta, if my compound containing C double bond OH, that is aldehyde, then I should use secondary suffix as a Al. Beta, compound containing ketone, then I should use secondary suffix here as a ONE. If the compound containing alcohol group called as a OH group, then I should use the secondary suffix here as a OL. Again, so many are there, but at present these are the only few examples which one we can explain here on the board. But while doing, we will do all. Compound containing COH group means you have to add the secondary suffix as a oic acid, CHO, aldehyde, Al, ketone, ONE, and alcohol as a OL. These are the secondary suffixes should be added over it. Right, beta? Chalo, I want to show you some examples for you. Please take a screenshot up to here. Beta, here, root word we have seen compound containing number of carbon atom. Primary suffix we have seen nature of the organic compound. Single bond, saturated, double and triple bond is unsaturated. This is called as a unsaturated compound. And beta, single bond compound called as a what? That will be called as a saturated compound. This is saturated and these are the unsaturated. Now, secondary suffix, beta, it indicates the presence of functional group. COH is a oic acid, aldehyde is a Al, ketone is a ONE, alcohol is a OL. But now question is that primary prefix, primary prefix. But here primary prefix means we can say it can be used for the alicyclic compound, bicyclo compound or cyclo compound, right? So we can use this primary suffix for, we have to check whether our compound will be either it is a cyclic or it is a alicyclic or it is a spiro. If we can say, but if the compound is a alicyclic compound, if the compound is a alicyclic compound, then the primary prefix I should use here as a cyclo. See, but alicyclic what we are using? We are using cyclo. Right. If the bicyclic compound is there, sir, if the bicyclic compound is there, for bicyclic compound I should use bicyclo. Mean directly, indirectly, what you have to say, beta? If the compound is a alicyclic or bicyclic, then only we have to use the mention as a cyclo or bicyclo, and this cyclo and bicyclo is the primary prefixes can be used before the root word. Sir, what is a secondary prefix? Very important, beta, here. If the organic compound containing more than one functional group, then according to priority order, that compound will be considered as a secondary prefix, but other functional group will be considered as a substituent. So here I will mention secondary prefix means it indicates the substituent present on it. But it indicates the substituent present on it. But what is the substituent means? Let us say ethyl, methyl, butyl, propyl is there. These all are the substituent, beta. Or we can say if the compound containing more than one functional group, according to priority order, the first one will be considered as a secondary suffix, but other will be considered as a secondary prefix. That things you are able to understand once we'll go with the examples and all, right? Chalo. Let us say, beta, secondary prefix I want to give an example for you. Example, if it is F is there, I should use the substituent or secondary prefix as a fluoro. But if Cl is there, then I should use here substitute as a chloro, right? And if NO2 is there, I should use beta substitute as a nitro, right? If it is a NO2 is there, I should use the substitute as a nitro, and so on will be there. Now, before going to discuss, I want to go with some examples for IUPAC naming of the compound. See beta, secondary prefix is there or substituent is there. I want to go with one of the example here called as a alkyl group. I want to go with the example called as a alkyl group. Now question is that, sir, how the alkyl group was obtained? But very simple. If you take the alkane and just you take out one hydrogen atom. But if you take out one hydrogen atom, your ANE, it become a ALKYL. See beta, alkane become alkyl. Means if in place of alkane I want to put CH4 beta, do you know what is the name of CH4? So CH4 called as a methane. And if you remove one hydrogen atom from here, what I will get? CH3. So what is the name beta? METH. First name is METH. But instead of ANE, what you should mention here as a YL. Beta CH3 called as a methyl. In the same way, if I write C2H6, you know name of this compound is a ethane. And you just take out one hydrogen atom from here. So beta by taking out hydrogen, this ANE, it become a what? C2H5 and free bond. That will be called as a ethyl. So ethane become ethyl, methane become methyl, alkane become alkyl. But do you know beta, this alkane, it is of the following type. What is that? Sir, normal, iso and neo. This is very important beta. This alkyl is of formal type, means following type. One is called as a N dash. Beta N dash is called as a normal. Beta second one type is called as a iso. And third type, it is called as a neo. But today in the class, I am going to discuss you the type of the alkyl group. Normal alkyl, isoalkyl and neoalkyl. What is the normal, what is the iso and what is the neo? So I want to go with one example for you. Example I will go with this one. But this is another called as a alkane. What is the name of this alkane? Do you know? Sir, name of this alkane is a propane. Now what I will do, I will take out hydrogen atom from here. See beta, if I will take out hydrogen from here, I will get CH2, then CH2 and then CH3. Because I took one hydrogen from here. But I want to take out hydrogen from here, this carbon. By taking out hydrogen from here, how it look like, you know? It is a CH3, then CH, then free bond and again CH3. But this compound can be written in the form of this way also. CH3, then CH, then CH3 and free bond. We can write like this, see. CH3, CH, CH3, free bond. But this CH3 came here and this bond goes to here, right? I will call, see beta, all the carbon atom in a straight chain, it will be called as a normal N dash. Total number of carbon is 3, so I should use here as a propyl, beta N propyl. You can see here, it is the last but one carbon having CH3 and H group. I repeat beta, it is the last but one carbon is having CH3 and H group. This group is called as a iso. Total number of carbon is 3, called as a propyl group. Okay, one second. Again, I'll go with one example. It's a propane example over, right? I want to go with one more example. See beta here. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. This is called as a butane. How beta? This is called as a what? Butane. Now what I will do? I will take one hydrogen from this carbon. So instead of CH3, I will get CH2, then 1, 2. Then one more CH2, then one more CH2, then one more CH3. See beta, in this one, all the carbon atom in a straight chain. Here also, all the carbon atom in a straight chain. If all the carbon atom in a straight chain, what I should put? N dash, normal. All the carbon atom in a straight chain, I should put N dash, normal. Total number of carbon count here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sir, it is called as N-butyl. Total number of carbon count here, beta, 3, N-propyl. Total number of carbon how many? 4, called N-butyl. But now I will take out hydrogen from here. So what we can do now, this is a CH3, this is a CH, this is a free bond, then I'll take out CH2 beta and I will take out CH3. Is it clear? Sir, I want to take out hydrogen from here. If you take out here, the same thing I will get, and if you take out here, it is same thing, the same thing I will get. But here this is a free bond present on this carbon, but did you saw this carbon is bonded with two more carbon, so it is called as a secondary. Secondary, it's a type of the carbon atom beta. What is that? It is a carbon having a free bond, and this carbon is attached with the two more carbon. So this carbon is called as a what, secondary carbon. So 2 dash means secondary. You should write the secondary. Total number of carbon is 4, called as a butyl. Secondary butyl, or you can mention here as a 2 dash 2 degree butyl. It is a type of the alkyl group that I am discussing now. First one is secondary prefix called as a substituent. In that one of the example I have taken here as a alkyl group. But alkyl group, how it form? Alkane, by taking out hydrogen from the alkyl. Alkyl is of 3 types. What is the 3 type beta? Normal, iso and neo. So methane, if you take out one hydrogen beta, ANE replaced by YL, methane become methyl, CH3. C2H6 becomes C2H5 by taking one hydrogen to ethane, ANE become YL, ethane become ethyl. Here, propane become propyl, it become propyl. Butane become butyl, it become butyl. But now, here all the carbon atom in a straight chain called as a normal N-propyl. But here last but one carbon, either you write here or this way. But it is the last but one carbon having CH3 and H and free bond, then it is called as a iso. Last but one carbon is having CH3 and H and free bond, it is called as a iso. Total number of carbon 3, propyl. But here it is the last but one carbon having H, but CH3 is not there. I cannot call it as a iso beta. CH3 not there. I cannot call it as a iso. So this is a carbon having a free bond, and this carbon attached with the remaining 2 carbon, then it is called as a secondary carbon. So I am having secondary and 4 carbon butyl or secondary butyl. Right? So I want to go with one more example of this butyl wala. Something called as a butane, which one I wrote. I want to show you one more example of butane. 1 second beta. In this butane we saw 2, N-butyl and secondary butyl, right? I want to show you one more example for the butane. Instead of writing butane, but I will go with the isobutane. I will go with this one butane. This is a CH3, then this is a CH, then it is a CH3, and then it is a CH3. See beta, if I will take out hydrogen from this carbon, how it look like? See here. It is a CH3, then it is a CH, then it is a CH3, then it is a CH2 and free bond. See beta, it is the last but one carbon, and this is having H and CH3. Then this group called as a iso group. But in this iso group, did you saw beta, your free bond is present on this carbon, and this carbon is attached with only one carbon called as a primary, or we can say this group, whenever you saw, the group will be called as a iso group. Total number of carbon 1, 2, 3, 4. That is butyl. The name of this carbon is isobutyl. Suppose I will take out hydrogen from here. How it look like beta? It is a CH3, then C, one free bond, then CH3, and again CH3. And it is having a free bond on this carbon. See beta, free bond on this carbon. So we cannot call it as a iso, because last but one carbon must have a CH3 and H group over it. H is not there. But this free bonded carbon attached with the 3 more carbons, so it is a tertiary carbon, and hence it will be called as a tertiary. Total number of carbon is 4, called as a butyl group. This is called as a tertiary butyl group, or you can denote in the form of a 3-degree butyl group. See beta, tertiary butyl group, or we can say 3-degree butyl group. So this can be formed isobutyl or tertiary butyl, right beta? And last one is one more example called as a pentane. But the last one more example called as a pentane. That one also we will see. Last one example beta, pentane. CH3, then CH2, then CH2, then CH2 and CH3. Suppose I will take out hydrogen from here, this carbon. Then how it look like, it is a CH3, then CH2, then CH2, then CH2, and again CH2 and free bond. See beta, in this case all the carbon atom in a straight chain called as a N dash normal, and total number of carbon is 5 called as a pentyl. So beta, we got the N pentyl here. What we got beta? We got the N pentyl here. Same way, one more example of 5 carbon ka we can write beta here, that is this way. CH3, then CH, then CH3, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 6. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. But if you take out hydrogen from here, here, how it look like? See here, it becomes CH3, then C, free bond, then CH3, then CH2 and CH3. It is a one part beta. One more part we can write here. One more part. What is the one more part beta? If you take out hydrogen from this carbon. So how it look like? It look like having a free bond CH2, then CH, then CH3, then CH2 and then CH3. But if you take out hydrogen from this carbon here, how it look like? CH3, then CH, then CH3, then CH, right beta? And it is having CH3 and one free bond. See beta, in these all the cases what we will see, in all these examples which one I wrote here, one second beta, in all these examples which one I wrote here, again I will tell you, this is a 5 carbon atom. If I take out hydrogen from this carbon atom, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5th carbon atom having free bond. Did you saw it here? In this 5 carbon atom which is in a straight chain called as a N. N is called as a what? Pentane. N is a normal and total 5 carbon atom called as a pentyl. So why we are using the term N beta? If the carbon atom in a straight chain then called as a N. Total number of carbon 5 called as a pentyl, N pentyl. In this one I am taking out hydrogen from this carbon. So I got here. Here beta I am taking hydrogen from this carbon. I got here. If take hydrogen from here, I got here. See beta, in this case, it is the last but one carbon having CH3, but it must have a H group here. So H is not there. This is not the iso. But it is a free bonded carbon attached with the remaining 3 carbon. This is called as a tertiary. Total number of carbon 5 called as a pentyl. Tertiary pentyl. But here free bond present on the carbon attached with only one carbon. It is called as a primary. It is called as a primary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 called as a pentyl. Right? Primary pentyl. But here you can see last but one carbon having CH and CH3. Then it is called as a iso. This is called as a iso. Iso means what? Last but one carbon must have H and CH3 called as iso. Total number of carbon how many beta? 5 called as a iso pentyl group. Is it clear? And the last one example of the pentyl I want to tell you beta here. One CH3 here, one C here, one CH3 here, one CH3 here, one more CH2 here and free bond. See beta, in this case last but one carbon is having 2 methyl group and one CH2 group, then it is called as a neo. See beta, last but one carbon having 2 methyl group and one CH2 group called as a neo. Total number of carbon you can check beta how many? 5. Then it will be called as a neo pentyl group. So overall which one I discussed beta in this substituent, that is alkyl substituent mein, what is a normal, what is a iso and what is a neo. But based on all the part, just few examples I want to write on the board, and I will give a time for you to identify which one is a iso, which one is a neo and which one is a normal, that you have to identify. See beta, some examples I want to show you on board. Example number 1. Sir, it is a CH3, then CH2, then CH2 and then CH2 and free bond. Sir, in this case all the carbon atom in a straight chain, I should use the term as a N dash. N stand for beta normal. Total number of carbon you can see beta how many are there? We are having 4 carbon atoms are there. So as it is having the 4 carbon atom, I should use the common name as a N-butyl. Second one beta here. This is a CH3, then CH and then CH3 and free bond. Third example beta. This is a CH3, then CH, then CH3, then again CH2 and free bond. Beta fourth example also check it here. This is a CH3, then CH, then CH3, then CH2, then CH2 and again free bond. See beta, last but one carbon having H and CH3, then it is called as a iso. See beta, last but one carbon having H and CH3, then it is called as a iso. Sir, last but one carbon having hydrogen and CH3, sir, it will be called as a iso. How many total number of carbons are 3? Then it will be called as a propyl. This is a isopropyl group or isopropyl. Beta, iso or but total number of carbon count here 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it is called as a isobutyl. Beta 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be called as a what? Isopentyl. So how to identify iso beta? Iso ke liye, this is the last methyl group or last but one carbon. This one methyl and carbon. This carbon must have H group and this carbon must have CH3 group and free bond. Either free bond, CH2, doesn't matter. If this group is there, you should call it as a iso. Is it clear beta? So these are the few examples of iso I have given you. Now example number 5 also check itself. Example number 5. Beta, it is a CH3, then it is a C, then it is a CH3 and then CH3 and last में CH2. Here, this group is there beta. See, last but one carbon having CH3, CH3 and CH2, then it will be called as a neo. Total carbon count here beta, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, called as a neopentyl. Now try beta example number 6, 7, 8, you should try it. 6, 7, 8. Sir, this is a CH3, then CH, then CH3, then CH2, then CH2 and dash 3, 4, 5 and one more as a CH2 dash. What is the name of this compound beta? Try it please. What is the answer?
Neoheptyl.
Now in this examples here beta, 1, 2, 3, last but one carbon having H and CH3 called as a iso. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I should call as a iso. 1, 2, 3 iso. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Isohexyl. What is the name of this one beta? CH3C. C is having CH3, CH3, CH2. This group called as a neo. But total carbon count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it will be called as a neo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Neo hexyl group. So in this way beta we are able to write the iso, neo and normal. So among all these one, what we learned today in the class beta, what is a iso group? See beta, very interesting part. What is a iso group? What is a neo group? And what is a we can say the normal group will be there. Just I want to tell you, before going to discuss about this iso, neo and normal, go with one more type called as a types of carbon atom. Sir, types of carbon atoms. See beta, we started from where and we are going where? We started with a nomenclature where I have given for you prefix, root word and suffix. Beta, when we came for the prefix like a primary suffix prefix called as a used for cyclic compound. One single alicyclic is there, cyclo, bicyclic is there, bicyclo. But secondary prefixes we are using for the substituent, means actually not only substituent. If the organic compound containing more than one functional group, then we should use according to priority order. The first one become a secondary suffix, the other will become a secondary prefix, indirectly to say substituent. And substituent means nothing but we are discussing about alkyl group. But where in the alkyl group we have seen what is a normal, what is a iso and what is a neo. But here now types of the carbon atoms are there. There are following type of the carbon atom is there. But the first one will be called as a primary carbon atom. Sir, primary carbon atom denoted as a 1 degree carbon atom. But the second one will be called as a secondary carbon atom. And sir, the secondary carbon atom is denoted as a 2 degree carbon atom. And third one, it will be called as a what? Tertiary carbon atom. And do you know beta this tertiary carbon atom can be written as a what? 3-degree carbon atom. So what is the primary, secondary and tertiary? How to identify it? I'll tell you the identification beta. Carbon atom bonded with one carbon and free bond. So when these carbon atom bonded with only one carbon, beta, it will be called as a primary carbon atom, 1 degree. Or we can say beta, carbon atom does not attach with any other carbon atom is also called as a 1 degree. 2 degree. Beta, carbon atom bonded with a 2 carbon atom. See beta, this is a free bond and carbon. Carbon atom bonded with 2 carbon atom, right? 2 carbon atom, then H should be there. These carbon will be called as a secondary carbon. Here beta, free bond bonded with a carbon and carbon bonded with only one carbon. And remaining are what you know, H and H are there. So this carbon is a primary carbon. But here, this is a free bond attached with a carbon and this carbon atom does not attaches with any other carbon called as a primary carbon. So primary carbon. But here carbon bonded with 2 more carbon called as a secondary carbon. Tertiary, see beta here, tertiary wala. Carbon atom bonded with 3 carbon atom. So these carbon called as a tertiary carbon atom. I want to show you one example. See here. Example beta. This is a CH3. This one is a CH2 and this is a free bond. See beta, free bond attaches to the carbon and this carbon bonded with only one carbon. I should call it as a 1 degree carbon atom. And this 1 degree carbon atom attaches to the hydrogen called as a 1 degree hydrogen atoms. See beta, primary carbon having a hydrogen called as a primary hydrogen atoms. Come for this example. See beta, this example. It is a CH3, then C, then H, then CH3 and free bond. See beta, this free bond attaches to the carbon but this carbon bonded with 2 more carbon. This will be called as a secondary carbon. And this secondary carbon attaches to the hydrogen called as a secondary hydrogen atom. But this is a primary carbon atom and this is called as a primary hydrogen atom. This is called as a primary means 1 degree hydrogen atoms. If I will ask you beta, in this compound for this carbon how many primary hydrogen? For this carbon it is having 2 primary hydrogen. For this carbon how many secondary hydrogen? Only 1 secondary hydrogen. Because hydrogen bonded to the secondary carbon are called as a secondary hydrogen. But in this case, see, carbon bonded with 3 means I should go with this example. CH3, then carbon, then one more CH3, then one more CH3 and free bond beta. These carbon bonded with 3 more carbon, it is called as a tertiary carbon. And did you saw beta? Tertiary carbon does not have any hydrogen atom. Is it clear? So once again, carbon bonded with one carbon called as a primary, or carbon does not bonded with any other carbon called as a primary carbon. But a hydrogen attaches to the primary carbon called as a primary hydrogen. In this case, carbon bonded with 2 more carbon are called as a secondary carbon and hydrogen atom attaches to it called as a secondary hydrogen. So carbon bonded with 3 more carbon are called as a tertiary carbon and hydrogen, no hydrogen atom attaches to the tertiary carbon. I want to give an example and I will ask you beta, among this compound how many primary carbon hydrogens and the primary, secondary, tertiary carbons and hydrogens are there. Okay, so we'll go with the type of the primary carbon atom like a primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary also there, but that part we'll see later on in the salt. So now one examples I will give and just you tell me beta how many number of primary carbon atom it will have. Sir, it is a CH3 bonded with CH, then bonded with CH3, then bonded with C beta. It is having one more CH3, it is having one more CH3, then it is having CH2, then bonded with it is having beta CH3. But in this compound you have to find out how many number of primary carbon, secondary carbon and tertiary carbons are there. Only find out beta types of the carbon atom, not the types of the hydrogen atom. But in this case, how many number of primary carbon atoms here? This is a carbon bonded with one more carbon, so it is a primary carbon. But it is a carbon bonded with this carbon, so this carbon also primary carbon. But it is a carbon bonded with this carbon called as a primary carbon. Maybe you are getting doubt. H3 is there. But H3 means, do you know? We can write like that now. C bonded with H, bonded with H, bonded with H. This CH3 can be written as C bonded with H, bonded with H, bonded with H. But this CH3, C bonded with H, then H, then H. CH2 beta can be written as C bonded with H, bonded with H. CH3 means this C bonded with H, H and H. This H also bonded with C. Is it clear? And here this C bonded with remaining 3 hydrogen atoms. But every time remember here carbon ki valency 4. Carbon should make 4 bonds. See, everywhere carbon is making 4 bonds. Now see, this carbon bonded with this carbon, so it is a primary carbon. This carbon bonded with this carbon, so it is a primary carbon. This carbon also bonded with this carbon is a primary carbon. But this carbon attached with this carbon is a primary carbon. This carbon attached with this carbon means it is a primary carbon. How many primary carbon I got it? 1, then 2, then 3, 4 and 5. Very good, beta. Primary carbon atoms how many? So that is 5. Right. But see, this carbon attaches with how many carbon? 1, 2 and 3. It is bonded with 1, then 2 and 3. So this is a tertiary carbon. But here, this is a carbon atom bonded with how many carbon? 1 and 2. Secondary carbon. Sir, this is a carbon atom bonded with how many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4. It is called as a quaternary carbon, 4 degree carbon. So, how many secondary carbons are there, beta? Tertiary, quaternary. Secondary is only 1. So, secondary carbon atom is only 1. But how many tertiary carbons are there? Tertiary carbon atom is also only 1, beta. Tertiary is also 1. And one more, that is 4 degree called as a quaternary carbon atom. That is carbon atom bonded with a 4 carbon atom called as a 1. So it is a way to find out the type of the carbon atom, right beta? Carbon atom attached with 1 carbon is a primary carbon, or carbon atom attaches with no other carbon is also called as a primary carbon. But among all these one, just I want to show you a very important group called as a iso group. It's a very important, beta. In every exam you are getting the question based on iso group only. Sir, in this one, if I will write this group, beta, CH3, last but one carbon having CH and CH3, then you should call it as a iso group. Right, beta? Can we call it as a iso? Yes, sir. Total number of carbon 3, can we call it as a propyl? Yes, sir. Beta, isopropyl mein did you saw these free bond present on the carbon and carbon attached with 2 more carbons. So this carbon is called as a secondary carbon. So we can say this is a secondary group, beta. Is it clear? See, free bond attaches to the carbon and carbon attaches with 2 more carbons. So can we say it is a secondary propyl group, right? This is also called as a isopropyl or secondary propyl, commonly called as a secondary propyl. But here you can see this is a CH3, then CH, then CH3 and then CH2 and then free bond. Sir, CH3 and C, and this C is having H and CH3 group called as iso. Total number of carbon, beta, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I should call it as a isobutyl group. Did you understand, beta, why we should call it as iso? Because last but one carbon having H and CH3 called iso. Total number of carbon 4 called as a butyl. But did you saw, beta, this free bond present on this carbon and carbon bonded with only 1 carbon, then it will be called as a what? Primary. Its group is called as a what, beta? Primary butyl group. Is it clear? Again one more I want to write, beta. Isopentyl. See, this is CH3, then CH, then CH3, iso 3 over, then 4 over, then 5 over, then free bond. We can call it as a isopentyl group. But did you saw, beta, free bond attaches to the carbon? Carbon attaches with only 1 carbon. So I should call it as a 1 degree pentyl group. So secondary propyl, primary butyl, primary pentyl. So one point you remember, beta, all are the primary alkyl group except isopropyl, which is having a secondary group. But all alkyl, all iso group are the primary group. Either it is isobutyl, isopentyl, isohexyl, isoheptyl, anything, they all are the primary group except isopropyl, which is a what? Secondary group. Is it clear, beta? So this one, today's in the class, beta, I have given discussion about only substituent alkyl group. Previously I have given what is a common name. How, beta? What is a common name? Common name called as a travel name, and travel name is based on what? So travel name is based on its source, its origin. Then afterward we have seen, beta, IUPAC, but I didn't give the any explanation on the IUPAC. Just I have given the outline picture of the IUPAC. What is a prefix, then root word, then suffix. But when we came for the prefixes there, I told you it is a primary prefix, can be used for the cyclic compound, word we are using as a cyclo, or we can say secondary prefix can be used for the substituent, and we have discussed everything about the substituent called as the alkyl. Types of the alkyl group is there, beta, iso group and neo group. When we should call as a iso and when we should call as a neo, I think it was clear for everyone. But when we should call as a iso, CH3 bonded with carbon, carbon must have H group, carbon must have CH3 group, and it should have a free bond. But if free bond not be there, doesn't matter. Carbon, this last but one carbon must have H and CH3 group, then I should call it as a iso group. I should call it as a iso group. But when we should say neo, you know, for neo ke liye, this is a CH3 bonded with the C, and this C bonded with CH3 at the top, this CH3 at the bottom, and one more CH2 group should be at the other side. This group is called as a neo. But for getting neo group, minimum number of carbon atom must be 5. For getting iso group, minimum number of carbon atom must be 3. Is it clear? And normal, beta, all the carbon atom is in a straight chain, right? So what we'll do, beta, the video length is it is going to nearly 1 hour and all. So what we'll do, with continue part of this one, I will give some common name and I will ask you to write the structure. For example, you wrote, beta, here it is isopropyl. Now in the second video, just I will give the name, beta, isopropyl, write the structure of it. You should write the structure of it. Isobutyl. Beta, you put the Cl, isopropyl chloride. You put the Cl, isobutyl chloride. Put the Cl, isopentyl chloride. Sir, put the OH, isopropyl alcohol. Put the OH, isobutyl alcohol. Put the OH, isopentyl alcohol. Means orally I will tell you, beta, write the structure of a neopentyl alcohol. Means you should make the neo group, put the OH group, neopentyl alcohol. Beta, neopentyl chloride, make the neo group, put the Cl, neopentyl chloride. Right? So now I will, in my next video, I will give the name and I will ask you to write the structures. Right? And based on the name, we'll try to write the structure, because in this video, I have given structures and based on the structure, we are able to write the common name. But in my next video, we'll see. I will give the name, you should try to write the structures. And once we know how to write the structure based on this iso, neo and all, then we are able to write the IUPAC naming of the compound. Right, beta? Thank you, beta. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Take care. If you like my work and if you like my video, please like it, share it and subscribe it. Right? Thank you, beta. Take care. Bye.